Just want to know what next yo. Let me know. Let me know what's the party. Let me do my best. Just so about the freedom. Attention! Domina! Come ne connaît, non? Il va vivre, mais pas de peur. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Bonjour, 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 bonjour. Bonjour tout le monde, à toute la Dominica et aux artistes. C'est un grand plaisir, messieurs, pour nous là. Encore, ça c'est Pulsation Creole. And that's where we invite you to another Creole Heartbeat program on the big station Q95 FM. It's a pleasure. And what we're going to be doing, we're going to go way back. We're going to go way back to the Genesis. We're going to go way back 1997. And this particular World Creole edition was special in that Dominica was accustomed to entertainment on a different level. And from the inception of this World Creole Music Festival, everything was revolutionized. Everything changed to a different level. It was a game changer. There were quite a bit of visionaries behind this masterful presentation headed by Sheridan Gregoire. One remembers the late Eddie Toulon, the whole team. I mean, quite a bit of technocrats, guys who were really involved in several aspects of Dominican entertainment life, Creole life. And it was something different. We are now experiencing the 25th anniversary, the Jubilee year. But we're going to go way back to the commencement of this particular noble institution, to my mind, in the Franco world, and it is the World Creole Music Festival. Today we have two of the stalwarts. Franklin Peter Moses, the first ever MC to MC that World Creole Music Festival inaugural edition, and the RSB, the Root Stems and Branches, the first band to actually perform at the World Creole Music Festival. We'll get a feel of what was it like for them and some brief history about them. But we have seated, we should be joining the RSB band just about 11 o'clock. Maxime Powell should be in. And we also have Kyle Kofi James should be hooking up from Chicago. But we have in studios Franklin Peter Moses. Good morning to you, my brother. How are you?
Good morning to you. I'm going to ask personally control to go back to the beginning of this clip that we have. To go back to the beginning and start to play. And just press play. And this is how I would like to be. Just the introduction. Okay, bring it up, bring it up, bring it up. That's the type of energy that was existing 27 years ago. Quiet, latent, electric energy. The first time in the entire universe, it all began on this day when Julius Timothy, along with Sheridan Gregoire and Ronald Lander, activated the universe with music. They could hear the rhythm. They could hear the sound. They could see the bands. They could see where Dominica would be positioned. We had to get it started. We had to bring the crowd. There was a strategy. There's the lights, the camera, and now we bring you the action. Let's go back 27 years. Bring the music down a little. Not too far, not too far. Leave it under. That's it. A little higher. So we started. So all of the action and all the activities put in place. What exit was, I was nervous, but Eddie Tuno, the late, a little low, just a little bit. Eddie Tuno comes and says, his exact words to me was, "My man, Franklin, listen, I'm depending on you. You are the best. You can handle that." And that made me comfortable. Mr. Sheridan Gregoire comes and says, "But you know, Franklin, if you don't do it, well, who else now we have now? And who else now? You can take care of that." Mr. Greg, you remember that? You had a nice little shirt, you look a nice little pants, looking like a Frenchman. And Mr. Gregoire had a way of ever since we connected. Okay, so now you can bring it down. You can bring it down, my dear. Okay, not too far down. Right. So me and Mr. Gregoire had hired me because he saw my potential and my creativity. And when normally I used to be a very shy person, but there's something in deep down inside of me that said I can do this because in school, my school teacher, my principal, Cuthbert Elwin, wrote on my report card, and when I before I did GCS in 1983, he wrote, "If Franklin Moses does not take himself seriously in school, he shall fail all his exams in June." And I was GC, and I was like, "I dare you, watch me." And I passed all my exams. I failed religion, of course. Um, but I passed all my exams, and he says, You're talking so much nonsense in class. You're going to be emceeing the show for the junior Calypso show, the SMA Calypso show, with Trinidad One and Zico and Stephen Dangleben and all these other folks." And I was like nervous, and I heard the guy Vincent Philbert say, "Well, but it's been decided by consensus." I said, "What nonsense about consensus? Give me that mic," and I took it. And Mr. Sheridan Gregoire hired me along with Danny Joseph to do Dance Party D, and that would be about 35, almost 40 years ago, upstairs where courts is dinner and that. And so I graduated at the time. I was doing some of the stuff. I'm working at DBS Radio, but still you don't think that you have it. I didn't even think it was anything big in Dominica. I was emceeing shows. I was doing comedy with Paul Kings Douglas and all the greats, in around the Caribbean already. But to do that, I didn't think it would have that kind of global impact. I was like, I'm a Dominican. I'm happy to be part of something good. I didn't know at 27 years later they would ask me to feature. 27 years. I was in my 30s. And let me tell you what happened after Mr. Gregoire and Eddie Toulon and Ronald Landon. Ronald Landon was the quiet ones that FM, yeah, yeah, FM man, yeah man, don't worry that man, everything will flow nice. No, let me give you the stage. The stage was actually in Carnival City behind the grammar school ground. Now they had to put bamboo and galvanized. So those days was now we have galvanized. In those days they had the bamboo. They had to go and get the coconut palms and branches and put it together around from the school area towards the side of the grammar school, which is now broken down. And then towards the riverside area, they had to get the wood. I mean, this guy named Tambe. Big Tambi. Tambi was also security, but Tambi was responsible. And then you had the Cocotte family. The Cocottes were because they worked for town council at the time. And so they had to activate and get the grounds clean. And if I am not mistaken, I think Reggie Burke, the late, was there, and he was in charge of grounds. But there's another name they had for it. So there was a group responsible for stage. And then there's a group responsible for security. And there's another group responsible for entertainment. And there's another group responsible for liaison. So you had people basically at the front line. They were the main box office, the only box office we had at the time, with terms of tickets and all of the activities before we moved to another office on Great George Street, King George Fifth Street, upstairs where the doctors in office,
Dr. Sorrento.
Yes. And so there was a lot of in and out, and nobody knew what was happening, but we believed in the vision, and we couldn't see it clearly, but those who could see it, we took up the baton and run with it. So let me bring you up to that day. Now, I worked at the time. I was with GIS also with brother me and Harry Rui. So we had a little. The night of the show. Well, let me fast forward. The night of the show now, RFO came down, and for the first time we got a house, the wooden house from Super Woods. They had RFO, you had other media from the Caribbean, and they came down and was like, wow, we going big. I drove a little white car, and my son was just born, and we had to spend the time in the back. So we start. I'm dressed in my jeans. I had a bright orange shirt, and how they call it, the reporter shirt with the 4 pockets without the sleeveless. And was nervous. I saw the band. Let me just give you a quick look at the bands. Well, thanks to Wadix, he sent that for me. Because I try to remember. I know what happened. I'm telling you exactly the first words that I said. When Eddie says, "Okay, FM, hear what he said to me. FM, we ready? You good?" I said, "Yeah. Go and do your thing." And he gave me the mic. So I'll tell you who impacted me. So that first night we have Frankie Vesson. Then we have Tabo Combo, Zouk Machine, Then we have the Dominicans. I'll tell you about Nelly Star. And we have Roughneck. Is the only band I cannot really connect. I can't remember who and where.
Roughneck was a French raga.
The French raga. Yes, I remember they had a something like a go-kart. They had they like the bamboo. I remember that. I can't remember what they played. Then of course in Magnum, I remember Magnum, bang 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 bang. Taxi Girl, like
from Martinique.
Martinique, yes. I can't remember the song and the same energy.
I want you to come this afternoon.
Come to me, come to me. Okay, I want it. All right, thank you, Alex. Yeah, all right. And then Ophelia and Midnight Grovers. Oh my goodness, I remember also we were saying something about Chubby at the time, but we were happy for that. And of course, when I tell you, we had RSB, WCK, 478, Exile 1. Those James Gordon is Element, and actually, when you will testify to that, the icon was Gordon Henderson, the whole logo itself. So we had a combination on that night. So I can remember the order. I know who ended Tabo Combo,
and but the first band was RSB.
Was RSB? Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Right, the first band. Okay, good. But the last one, when Tabo coming about, like we just maybe 5 something.
It was 5 something.
Yeah. And then you stayed in your hand. And
they say bar light is coming your way. Mabuya,
mabuya. And then they were not that like powerful like, in terms of like hot. They were like just and then you see the sun rising and you see the little dust and you see people's eyes half open and you look back. From the stage, I look back and I see some folks lying down on the grass. A Frenchman or friend, whoever they were, and the lady's head was on his chest. And they burst a so me. I said, but Dominica sweet. And then towards the riverside, those days you see in French people, to a couple of them in the river. And they totally, but nobody don't care about that. And the sun began to rise and the energy, I was like, so Isaac comes by and said, bam. Yeah, we made it. You do it. You do it. Yes, my man. Yes, my man. We do it. You ready for tomorrow night? We didn't sleep that night because everybody was excited about, it really happened with that. When Kassab come, he said, boy, you see them pillars for real. He used to play them. I remember John Lowe Black was the one who, as for you and Ole at the time, we hear you guys make Zuclasses and Medicam and Nuni and then John Lowe Blackwood had a special program. He played. He said, "Boy, I crazy about Kassab." And when you see them in real life, it's like, what? And then I'm not thinking when I'm all that. I'm just saying, like, yeah, I'm the one that bring you on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, here's my first words. Okay, he says, okay, Fem, it's your turn. Hey, bonsoir tout le monde. Nous pawe. Iwi Dominica World Music Creole Festival starts now. And I just continue, and then you finish. Catch my breath. Next band, RSB. Next band, I'm not saying random order. Okay, Frankie Besson, he comes on stage. This man is the most nastiest entertainer, but everybody, man, laugh. The man never stops smiling on stage. Kakapul. I don't know what that song, but everybody loved it. So the French people who were there, they were enjoying themselves. And then we had Zouk Machine, as you mentioned. When Nelly Star came out, she had just begun to release her albums. And I knew Nelly Star when she was Nelly Rafful because I discovered her at Fortune Hotel when I was doing my comedy show. And Nelly was like, focus. And Nelly had to sing her songs. And I was like, wow. She had a boots on. She had a brown boots, those real boots, and her little locks was coming on. And Nelly was focused. Of course, she was a little tight, in the stratosphere, in the hyosphere. And as I tell you, I can't remember Taxi Girl too well, but Ophelia was singing the song, it's up our way, and she was connecting with the French and the English, and the Midnight Grovers as always. First Serenade is the first band I saw at the time, apart from an outside band, local band, with Cathy and the fellas with their trumpet, and they blow it, and boy, that time Roy is small, not Roy big. Roy sweat from end to end on that stage. Roy just going, and really tight, and and it was show up. One thing we didn't had at the time was the synergy, the gel, so that I would have to talk a lot. I give a few jokes, trying to get my feet wet. but we had longer lulls for the next band. We didn't tighten that up. So you'd have about a 30-minute break. So band come to set up. Then when Kasaf come, Kasaf set up in the afternoon, but then they had to come with the same drums we use. Some people don't want you to use the drums. You had to bring your drum, but then after the next year there was one set of drums. But you walk with your guitar, you walk with everything, and the transition was just a little long at the time. But apart from that, everything was good, man. Everything. The lighting. Oh, we had lighting. We had to import lighting. I don't know where the lighting came from.
The lighting came from with the sound system.
With the sound system, yeah. And it was the first time we had some speakers. Now we have the electronic, but those are big, huge speakers on both sides, and you can hear that from the bay front. The first time the song was able to transit, the frequency was loud and strong. When Kasaf came, absolute clarity, just clean songs, and that worked very good. So bring up the music a little. This is what it sounded like. A little more. When they start to sing that song, when Jacob voice go and he says, "Let's go," hear this. The crowd just went wild because his voice is not the best. It's raw. Bring it down a little. It's like sandpaper, but it's sandpaper in the musical ear. Really, really good. And once Jacob started to sing, and then Joycelyn joined him with I don't think Siwo.
Yes,
I just
Siwo's
know
out
Siwo. Siwo come out and everybody, or particularly the French people, they just run towards the crowd, this stage, especially the French people, and they were singing. I think the following year, what did Tanya Seval came?
Tanya Seval, I think the third year.
The third year. So when Tanya came, apparently, but I personally saw together with Kasaf choreography. There were some nice fit ladies on French ladies on stage, and they were dancing with like African, like straws around the waist and something around their hand, around the ankles, their hair, and they were dancing. And one of the guys was beating the timbal, the drum and so forth, and everybody was riveted for like 10, 15 minutes. They were, but their songs and Shayme was good too. Shayme, bring this one up a little. How much you sing? Saki passe on le mouvement. On that maison.
Yeah, but FM, we have to also make way for the RSB.
Yes,
As a matter of
absolutely.
fact, Kyle Kufi is online. We'll bring him in a while.
Bring him in, yeah.
But then, yes, let's bring in Kyle.
Let's bring in Carl, yeah.
Let's bring in Kyle Kufi, James.
Well, let me just introduce him now.
Yes.
Carl, you with us? Go for it.
Okay, we are trying to get in Kyle Kufi, James. But Franklin,
Bring us down a little.
Let's bring up the music a little. Let's bring up the music, bring it down a little as we try to hook up with Kyle in Chicago. Are you there, my brother?
We can see you.
We can see you, but we are not hearing
Make
you.
sure that
All right. You can hear
phone
me now.
on in Chicago, where we do. Your mouth is moving.
We are not hearing.
There's a song.
Right, what about now?
Moving.
Is the line for the computer on? Right.
I've unmuted my mic.
Okay,
Okay,
great.
we
Perfect.
can hear you, perfect.
We are hearing you loud and clear now. What's up, my friend?
I'm good, man. Greetings and blessings to you, Franklin Moses, and engineer in the house.
Yes, we are trying to hook up with Maxime Powell. Should be in the studio any moment from now. But we had Franklin Moses just bringing us back to all what took place then. And from the standpoint of the MC and everything, we have a few callers already coming in. We'll bring them in a little later. But just for information and for those who may not know of the RSB band, tell us a little about the RSB band prior to the World Creole Music Festival.
All right. First of all, greetings, and I guess your to all your listeners of Q95 and Push Past 10. I know they're streaming as well. RSB. My name is Carl Kofi James. Everybody know me as Kofi. RSB. You know, when I got out of school, Maxime and I in 1983 around there, we decided to form a group. You know, but we had keen interest in the Karas music because at the time, as you know, Karas was dominating, and we wanted to be like Exile One and all these other bands. So our foundation we started off was on a Karas level, you know, Karas and reggae, because I grew up on reggae music from my before, my father's time.
Mhm.
Anyway, so to fast forward, we did, well, not fast forward, but over the years we did one or two like princess shows, performed at calypso shows, and so and as we gained prominence, we started going out in the country areas, and at one time kind of dominated the north. Portsmouth Old Credit Union Hall was our stomping grounds, as you would say. Paybush, Cali Beachy, and anywhere north of Roseau, we dominated, and then later on we started to come more into Roseau, like when they had the Coney Islands thing around. With you addicts, we team along with you at Salmon Tree,
Yes.
and then we
I
went to
wanted,
the
I
beach.
wanted, I wanted to spend a little time because that was before the World Creole Music
Yeah,
Festival.
all that's before the World Creole Festival.
RSB, Wadikule, Samantri, and for those who don't know, Samantri was located where Cots presently is.
The East.
And by the way, that's where Franklin Moses now hosted the dance party DA.
That is
So
it.
tell us about those days, Kufi.
Man, back in the days when we did music and just the whole general entertainment vibes in Dominica, it was passion driven. You know what I mean? We love what we did and so on. So in those times, we didn't care about how much money we really got paid. All we
Yes,
wanted to do was play music. You know,
absolutely.
we just wanted to play music. So when the opportunity came for any gig to expose our talent, we would embrace that.
Mhm.
And what I like about these days, man, it was just so much fun and unity among bands and just your fans, like they had you up. And I mean, we used to look forward to any type of gig we had. Any,
As we just want to welcome Maxime Z Powell. Good morning to you, my
yes,
brother.
my
What's up, Z?
Yes, my brethren, good morning, one.
original.
Good morning, Franklin, and to the wider listenership. Yeah, good morning. Hey, Prince,
Yes,
I
yes,
say.
yeah, yes.
Yeah, man.
just for history purposes, RSB came in just after, let's say, when Kadan slips to sort of take a kind of break, mainly because of Hurricane David. Most of the band members lost their equipment, that sort of thing. And you came in with Serenade during those days. I remember basically you and Serenade were the bands then. And you played a major role. Why? Because most of the live bands were not performing. And you and Serenade held the fort during the whole song system era. Because sound system dominated from Scientific Roads, A&M, and then
Wadikule,
Wadikuli, of course,
Jinal songs.
Jinal Sounds, and several other sound systems.
Synchronics.
Synchronics with Ashton. But
What?
then you guys came and really with a cadas, with a Creole feeling. Tell us about those days, Maxim.
Well, really, Wadix, like you said, with a Kadas feeling, because Kadas is what we knew, we grew up on. And being that the Exile One, Gramax, these bands were out there, really we have to give enough thanks to guys like Chubby. Because when Chubby first heard us because of the Kadas, he actually came to the band house and told us, well, we're doing something good. But the cobble, he gave us the real feel of the cobble to go with the rhythm. And he told us to just continue. And it's from Chubby we understood that there are different forms of the Kadas that, and Groovers who was playing really the roots Kadas with the gouache, the shack, and so. And it's really Chubby that really explained to us our music with the fusion of the Mazu, Bele,
The
quadrille,
traditional.
traditional beats, so we fuse that into our karas. Even when we played soca and other different genres, we would fuse our Bele, quadrille, Mazu, because we really understood the build-up of the different beats.
This is very important because even during those days, RSB created their own sound. It was very important that your sound was distinctive. Whenever you hear just the music, you didn't have to really hear any vocals. You just hear the music and your variations, your styles were distinct. And now we are getting to understand that you incorporate into your style quite a bit of the traditional elements.
Yes, and when Radix really will learn, you see, like the members of RSB really learn the makeup of the different traditional beats. So that's why, well, like now what I realize is we have in the cultural gala and our musicians not going to that. You know what time during the cultural gala we
Every,
was going to that because there was
yeah,
different beats as musician. So
definitely.
we learn the beats, and I must give thanks to well Alwyn Gone and Raymond. So what we did not understand into the makeup of the beats, so they explain to what the quadrille entails, what the belly of trails, the mazouk entails, you know. So we really while searching, we go and look for information, get information, and it was easily handed down to us. You know.
For those who may not know, you were based in Kinfield.
Say again?
For those who may not know, RSB Root Stems and Branches was basically based in Kinfield
Kinfield, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
and
Yeah.
also influenced by who? Because I recall, I think it was Gaylords who were.
Gaylord's practice on the flat apparently accidentally Bricker is my family, you know.
Okay, he's on island
Yeah,
presently.
yeah.
He's on
I
island
don't know if I'll get
presently.
a chance
See
to
that?
see him
He's
before.
on island presently. That's Bricker. But then they would have practiced not too
On the
far
flat
on the flat.
Kinfield, so
Mhm.
Kofi
Yeah,
can tell you every day we may get a
we
meeting
there every day.
because we're gonna listen to Gaylord's. And
Yeah,
then Exile one was 2 houses away
away
from my
from
dwelling,
Maxime. Yeah,
our
our dwelling.
dwelling, Raymond Eunice house. When they had Albinado as their lead singer, so they practiced 2 houses away from us. And then Ignitions was about 5, 6 houses away, you know, doing
Which one?
dances.
Ignitions.
Doing dances,
And I mean,
downstairs
I,
with
I
my
I brought this
dogs, you know.
back because around this time, Skinfield was a hub, a musical
Wow,
hub.
I never knew that about you.
Ignitions with guys like
Frankie
Frankie,
was
Jazz, who eventually played for RSB. Then there was Stretchers, there was Refuse,
Refuse.
also Soleil, who actually plays for Swing It Stars, and then there were Gaylords, and then there were also Exile
The
One
one, yeah.
in that same hub, and then RSB now with those influences came on the scene, and those various bands influenced the sound.
Exactly. And while we go in and look at them, at least the guys never turned out. They saw that we were interested in what they're doing. So they would tell us, especially Break and this guy, come in, you know. Come and look at
Yeah.
what's happening, you know. So when we get in, we would ask questions and so.
To move forward, Sekadas, Kifeno Voyager. That was a mega hit. Carl, Kofi, and Maxime, tell us about this particular hit.
Well,
and why?
to be honest and to be exact and straight up, man, it's Kadas that really make Dominica be known at the time. You know, because with our Kadas music, the Groovers, the Milestone, the Gramax, these guys were doing. Imagine Gramax ended up on Super Bowl. You know,
Can you imagine that?
yeah,
man?
man. I mean, big sin for the Kadas music and so. So with the Kadas music and so we saw that the Kadas going somewhere. So we decided, you know, to stay up with the Kadas and so on.
And you actually
So
created
you
the
find like
main sound.
Kadas,
Mhm.
if RSB is really Kadas that made us move. Kadas that move our music initially. Well, right now, Bouillon, but Kadas did that before, you know. And it's just that we did not embrace the Kadas because, like anything else, music is the second largest industry after the food industry. We must eat, you know.
Yeah.
So when Kadas took off, I still find guys did it on their own. It's not like the guys got help, you know, to make that move somewhere. The guys moved the music on their own, and I see that repeating itself. History is repeating itself with Bouillon right now. I mean, we need to inject some finance. Just imagine you put $1 million into music, you can take out 10 million
Absolutely.
easily.
For those who may not know of the RSB, you guys toured extensively, Carl Kofi. I mean, I can recall, I mean, the North American tour, also the New York base. You had a very strong and potent base in New York area. Tell us about the RSB travels. I noticed that Carl possibly left us but you could tell us, Maxime, about the RSB travels.
What I must say to, I mean, 2 years prior to our traveling to the North America, we've been trying to get our visas and get promoters to take us up and so until Dashing Lofty Brother came down and Zan, they heard us and they said, that's a band I think that should come to New York. Because before us, WCK and Swinging Stars was on the move, you know.
Mhm.
So our first year into Toronto, from the first year we stopped, man. From that first year, the clientele, well, you know what, it's the
Yes.
music that we presented to the people. We always play music.
Mhm.
Work music for the people, not only for ourselves. Even if we had our originals.
Mhm.
But we feel we worked our originals with, you know, popular songs that the people wanted to hear. Our Kadas, prevalently, honestly, we beat a lot of our Kadas. And what we noticed too while touring out there that our people always wanted to hear Kadas. Because when RSB would strike up and we come into that zone is like being home twice. You see, you would see the people gravitating towards front, you know. We play our Grandmax, Chubby number one. We play our little Exile at Exile medley. And so, you know, work out some milestone along with our local calypsos and the popular Trinidad calypsos at the time.
Kofi, what you think? Are you hearing us, Carl? Carl,
Prince.
Prince, are you hearing us? We seem to be getting some little. Okay, Carl seems to be getting a slight
Look, he
issue.
shake his head. Look as if he's trying to.
Okay, but then
Yeah, but what I must say too from that first year, that was it.
from the first year
From
you
the
thought
first year to North America, that was it.
Lofty also played a major role, even if it didn't end as we expected it.
No, but we had our
But
good
he,
times,
but
man.
he
I mean,
played
you know,
he played a major role.
yeah.
Lofty
Yeah, well, the
Samuel.
first time which we thought was well, Lofty took us out there, you know, really St. Martin with what he called it.
No, I remember. You know, this was historic.
Also Guadeloupe.
This was
Dominica.
historic. This was historic. You know, RSB and Wadikule, both in Guadeloupe and also in St. Martin.
St. Martin.
I think we spent about a month in St. Martin.
Yeah, yeah.
And Harbour Lights.
Harbour Lights. Yeah, we played a lot at Harbour Lights.
Harbour
Yeah,
Lights.
but we stayed at where was this hotel? And then we played at that guy with
Cat, right,
yeah,
right.
But
then we spent a whole month on the road, RSB Wadikule, and we kind of forged a real close relationship. We also had a very close relationship with Sheridan Gregor at the Salmon Tree.
Yes, where we do what was the name of this?
Well, it was the Salmon Tree dance party with Franklin,
party, yes.
and then we also forged a major relationship. We went to Guadeloupe together through Jocam and Mass Dominique, and so we performed. And you performed on the road.
On the road,
RSB performed on the road.
Yeah, from UKM, yeah.
Okay. Then now the first year of the World Creole Music Festival, you were already a staple into Dominica's music. Can you recall, Carl? Are you here, Carl? We are not getting Carl, but can you recall working out, preparing for that first edition of the World Creole Music Festival?
Well, honestly, working out for the first edition of the World Creole Music Festival was easy for us because we was already accustomed to the international stage because we performed with bands like Byron Lee, Ronnie McIntosh, and Massey Chandelier, and a lot of the Trinidadian bands. Also, I think we did a gig with Alpha Blondie.
Performed with Alpha Blondie?
Yeah, New York. And then we did some shows with, what was that? Well, we did one or two things with Wyclef, you know, because we recorded our Incline Jam album at Refugee Camp Studio.
At Refugee Camp, that's the studios of Wyclef Jam.
Well, Fuji's.
Carl, whenever you come, you can come in at any time if you're hearing us.
I'm here.
Momentarily, because we were already referring to you know, the preparation now for the first edition.
Yeah, like Maximin said, prepping for that was easy because remember RSB was a band. We had structure in terms of rehearsal. You know, we rehearsed 3 times a day, which was the band rehearsal, and any other day in the week, if any member wanted to go to the community center to just brush up on some things they didn't know, we would do that as individuals. So we were always in practice mode because our concept was be prepared because you never know when you get any call for what gig or what. So rehearsal was just a natural thing for us. We practiced more than anything, you know? And as a matter of fact, our practice was so well structured. If a man was to come late, like if you come late to practice, you have to pay a $5 fee.
Yeah, you have to pay.
You have to pay.
Wow.
So if you miss practice without a valid reason, you have to pay. So all that is deducted from your pay. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't just a thing where we just loosey and do whatever. We had structure. So
Then
and maybe I should say, well, we saw the music as a business from day one, and we believe that all businesses manage under the same business principle. You know? So,
but then Eddie, also from Kidfield area or residing in the Kidfield area, gave all you the information. You were the band to start the World Creole Music Festival. How that felt?
Well, it was good. It was easy for us because even while traveling outside there with the Dominican bands, all bands wanted to play last, but RSB is a band. We always want to play first. We know how we come to do it now. So that to us, opening the World Creole, and we know that's going to be, it's a historical event. You know,
exactly.
So we just know we're going to put in our all into it. and push what we have to offer. You know, and accidentally, I was the first voice to sing on that festival.
What was the first song, Maxime?
The first song,
Can you recall?
I think the first song, Kofi, if I'm not mistaken, the first song was Sekadas, right?
I think it was Sekada.
Yeah. I think so too.
Africa, one of them. I think
No,
it was
Sekada,
Yeah.
Maddox, you know, man.
Yes, Sekada. I was there. I was right there.
because you know,
Yeah,
Sekadas is a
Franklin
blessing
introduced
song,
us.
you know.
Franklin introduced us, but
Franklin
I was
introduced
right there. I was right there with myself and Eddie, and plus I played some music in between, working out with Franklin.
Oh yeah, we
Right.
I have to mention that.
Even when Franklin actually made Jose Boyebuti around
Thank
that
you very
show.
much.
Oh.
Yeah. I say what are you trying to
But what it's while you're saying that and you're asking us about our introduction and what we think about when we come to the first World Creole Music. Remember you and Eddie, we had meetings, the bands had meetings with you all,
Yes,
explaining
yes,
to us that you all wanted us to understand the international stage. That was really the focus, you know. But I mean, we understood that already.
You see, it was something new at the time, and myself and Eddie, I was kind of understudied Eddie, so Eddie would always bring me wherever he's going. So what happened is we wanted the bands to have the psyche, and this is not another jam. This is a world stage. Press is available, uniform, whatever, to bring out a show, a spectacle.
Yeah.
So that when the images would go wherever, people would realize that's a festival on a different level, and not just a Viking vibe. So we actually spoke to every single band to up their game in terms of how they would present on the night. And it's happy that you brought that back, because I recall
symposiums.
Yes, I mean we had symposiums. We tried to get the musicians themselves to really be on a different level for the festival and to understand how important the festival was. Maxime, the first song, Getting Ready, Franklin Moses introduced you, and Adrenaline, you were nervous? Were you nervous?
No, man. I got 10-man season on the stage, man. I mean, stage is our home at that time, man. Being on stage.
Can you recall the moment when you actually get that special Franklin, give us the intro again, man. Give us the intro.
Okay, so what's that? Okay, so I just said, okay, my man. my man, you got this. You ready? Yeah, man. Do your thing. So go. Okay, so after I said the introduction, I play song. You know it, babe. It is here. The first World Music Creole Festival begins in Dominica, and we said it, whatever this. Bonjour, welcome. À tout le monde à Guadeloupe, à travers la mer, Martinique, Saint-Lucia, Dominica, whatever that. When you get to Saint-Lucia, you say, "Ee," and you say, yeah, I guess I didn't read it. And then the energy is there. And I said, okay, right about now, the great present to you. And I realized, okay, let me not speak too much English because you have French, but it doesn't matter. I flow in my gift. And then the guys were ready. I mean, I remember you with the little Lux was there.
Tell him what you said about the guitar.
Oh yeah. Thank you. So you come on, and then on the lights, and I'm looking at you, and I said, but to myself, but Mr. holding the guitar the wrong way.
You're the only one. You were the only person.
I said, Mr. Something wrong with Mr. Man.
Upside down.
Yeah, everybody said that, man.
Something not right. You
come here and say something.
Copy.
Yeah, I say everybody used to think that he was playing his guitar wrong, upside down.
Yeah, because I said one hand in, but then the music started coming, and he one thing, MC Couple showed him, and I look back at him. My brother, some people struggling to play.
Not Maxime. Easy.
Water, and the man faced the man in his zone.
Hey, let me tell you.
Yes, man. How you
I listen to a lot of Julie Moreno.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a master.
Cool. Yeah, okay.
She cool.
You cool, yeah.
Julie,
No sweat.
Guy style. I studied that.
Listen, man. Just recently, the discussion with, as we mentioned, Julie. I was trying to tell Julie, I listened to Exile, and we're not straight, We're talking about the prominence of Julie Morello, and I think he's maybe one of the most underrated
rhythm guitarist.
Because to me, he's the best.
Rhythm guitarist.
Ko is cool. But then Julie, man, let me tell you something. I used to hear in the guitar gouache, I used to hear Jinping in a guitar. And then Gordon told me, Gassa, that is why he played differently and the other guitarist, the lead guitarist, was playing, the normal.
Okay.
But this guy never played normal.
And what is just saying?
He never played normal.
Yeah.
In
When I
guitar.
play my guitar too, I would try.
You can hear it in this guitar.
These
Okay,
guys,
nice.
because them guys would play, and like the drum in the
Yes.
guitar.
So you actually hear the
The strings.
traditional
Yes.
strumming.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why Exile was so tight.
Tight, yeah.
Because with that, and then what was the other guitarist? I can't remember the other guitarist's name, but then we feature again on the keys, man.
Yes,
We
yes.
couldn't Exile the tightest
Greville,
rhythm.
like, one time Greville played with them. Greville.
Yeah, Patrice. Exile had the tightest rhythm, and then these guys were it wasn't only RSB, B plus and all these guys, they emulated Exile.
Mhm.
Because Exile rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why the music changed and changed drastically, because the guitar rhythm pulled a lot
Even
from
when-
Haitian compa to the Cadastral flow.
Right. And even when you listen to Serenade too,
Yes, the
because
guitar.
Kinky, myself, even Eric Ball play with the guitar too,
Mhm.
When we listen to each other, it's the same rhythm, and when we vibe with each other, that was the same vibe, Like when we
Nice,
started
nice,
that, and we
nice,
try
nice.
to bring in the gouache effect, shack effect with the guitar, you know what I mean?
What were the high points? Kofi, what were the high points of RSB band? And then we'll take Maxime.
Boy,
Right,
well,
high points.
the high points, I think once we got the real understanding of the type of music we were playing, and then when we came together to do, you see that Karase album, I think from there come back up to Big Time and Bang Time.
Yeah.
I think that them moments there were like really meaningful to me and a lot of the members. And if you notice, right, the combination of Z guitar
Jerry.
rhythm pattern and Jerry fingering lead style, that gave a unique rhythm to RSB. And today I can stay anywhere and hear a song and know if it's Maxime not playing the guitar.
Myself.
You know what I mean? When
I can
hear
hear
Calypso,
Maxime
I
stand
know
on
when
Calypso.
it's Z, because his rhythm style is unique.
Yes.
And like it's full, it's vibrant. You know what I'm saying? And then Jerry just add all this deuce, man. So that era when fellas really understand what they were doing and we were playing the music, yeah, that to me, that them thing was epic, And then our ability to write songs to show where we were musically and what mattered to us. That is another thing I because I believe in lyrics, So when we make songs like say Kadas, Dusma, and this kind of Pretty Island Lady, them kind of songs there is like telling you endless, that one we have on the Karase album. We have some songs like if you were to take them now, every independence, these songs are supposed to be just there because they have that cultural tie to Dominica.
All you did an album and a tribute, I think Madras EP.
That's what I'm telling you.
Jerry Moulon.
Yes.
Really wrote this one. But you see, and the thing I love about you guys, and even the early CK days, is the tribute, the patriotism.
That's what
to
I'm saying.
culture, to Dominica. Even
Tied to
later
your
on,
roots,
Frankie Jazz actually sang a song.
Yeah.
Maxime did
Picking
the
up.
one, the Kadase,
yeah.
but even later on, Frankie Jazz
did
wrote one.
Yes.
Kadase again with
Yes,
you
yeah,
at the
yeah.
background, giving me a little big up,
Yeah.
I guess,
Yes.
for the work. But then the patriotism was so rich in the, adding to what the exiles and the Ophelias and the
Oh yeah.
Groovers
Oh
did.
yeah.
So the pattern was continuing.
Yeah,
and
but-
even the early days of CK, Ra was very patriotic in terms
Yeah.
of the lyrical content.
Yeah, the kind of lyrics, yeah.
But what is I would really say, well, our music really reflect us. So
Yes.
so
And that is
that's
important,
why that's
the
how we
music
really wrote,
reflect the people at the time. By the way, we the lines are now open for RSB. We have Maxime, Zippo, Will, Kyle, Kofi, James. We saw the lines ringing earlier on. In case you want to big up the brothers for the work that they did. But then some of the other
Did what we
musicians,
still doing, you know.
huh?
We still doing. You see that by the work.
Well, RSB as the band. We're
All
going
right.
to RSB as a band. We'll come to the individuals as
No,
to
we're
what the
still
guys.
doing as RSB because as we speak now, I should be
Things happening.
I should be dropping vocals on top of the track.
So tell us about that. Tell us about
I
that.
should.
But then even before that, I
Even
want.
Kofi's supposed to be dropping. I think the music was sent to him already.
No, but even before we go to the new project, tell the listeners about some of the members that were really instrumental in RSB.
Well, originally we started with Teddy and this
Yeah.
Derek
That's what
Liverpool.
I'm
Yeah,
Are
man.
you hearing me?
Me.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Derek Liverpool, myself, Kofi, Wadadley is dead now, Peters,
Mhm.
and
Man, I don't
Frankie.
know.
Well, Jazz came in
I
after
keep
when
losing
Derek.
my audio, man.
Huh? Your audio? We heard you.
We hearing you loud and clear, Kofi. Okay,
Okay,
Carlton,
so
to
but
begin
while
this
it's
session.
transform, you know, Teddy had to leave. Well, Derek left early to
Can you all hear me?
Teddy.
Yes, we
We
hearing
can
you.
hear you.
We hearing you, Kofi. We hearing you. All right.
Yeah,
So
Teddy had to move.
Boy,
Then,
technology now with me now about
Jacko.
today.
Then after Jacko, we had Willie.
Yes, Jacko, Ian Jackson
Yeah.
played at some point in
They
time.
did
Yeah,
a lot of writing too. And then Dave also was our last bass man already.
they
They
did.
did. And then we had Lyndon Lestrade, we spent a lot of time with us after Wadadley.
But Lyndon was also part of the World Creole Music Festival.
Well, on
squad.
the World Creole Music Festival spot was myself, Dave, Lyndon, Wadads, I think. No, I don't think Wadads was there then. And Dorian, Kofi,
And then you had the engineer, our boy, our
Robin.
friend. Robin. That's Robin as the
Robin,
engineer.
always.
And those days were different in terms of what Dominica produced and the impression coming out from Dominica, Sam, the whole Caribbean, the Creole world. Even I am still trying to, go back, draw my memory back to the Guadeloupe on the road. When, the French people were just amazed at what was coming from the sound
The
system
sound
then,
system.
and how, infused they were, to what was taking place. I remember Val was here also. Val was on the
yes.
truck. Young Will was on the truck. We have our first caller for RSB.
Remember, we had to put him on.
Yes, we have to lift up Val on the truck.
They have to lift up Val.
Good morning to you. This is Creole Heartbeat for RSB and Franklin Moses.
Brother Maximin, welcome home. Welcome home, my brother.
Yes, my brethren.
Yes. So I don't know if Wadix is fighting an uphill battle. Take, for instance, Breakfast Fest has just concluded. I don't know if I'm wrong. Was Chubby and his band on the lineup?
No.
But most importantly, what Cadas never produced was uncensored, pornographic, triple X-rated dancing on stage, which seemed to have taken over the likes of Breakfast Fest and all the modern day events. What's our thoughts on those, gentlemen? Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. I will allow you to answer. I've lamented my thoughts.
Well, when come straight up, man, I not into the nasty business, and even while nasty business seem to have been taking over our industry. I remember calling Cornell and telling him, man, I think right now as the booyah is taking off, I think that's the bad vibes for nasty business to be the face of our music. But soon after we spoke, and I told him that we need to do something about it. If we need to meet as musicians, as artists, if we need to have a program. As soon as we spoke about it, maybe about 2 weeks after, guys like Shelly came and Trilogy, and they just dampened that vibe, man. Like, I mean, all music have their market, but we cannot have nasty business as a piece of our music because they're going to kill our industry.
What about you? What about you, Kofi?
Well, from day one, I'm never a guy of slutty, just explicit lyrics being out there like that. And I know what they're trying to convey, and we can do that with, well-crafted lyrics like we know from Sparrow Times and that. I don't think we have to be that raw and explicit on of a sexual nature to make people get the gist of what we're trying to say. So I'm never one that I will never support nasty business music, and for that reason alone, I will not even try to buy stream this music because I raising kids, And I don't want them to think that that's the standard the world's supposed to be or their life's supposed to be going around. And we tend to lose track of the morality in society, and for the price for the price of fame and hype, and like we can tell you, and RSB, we will never about hype, and no, we will about consciousness and putting out stuff that we can play anytime, anywhere. You can pull any RSB song and play it at any time without fear of your children hearing anything that's unclean. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, to each his own, but I'm just saying, me personally, I'm not a supporter of the nasty business at no time. Never, ever will.
There was a point when RSB music changed slightly with the Panjam, and I suspect Linden. Linden Lestrade was responsible for changing your sound slightly.
Well, yes, but also when we did that album, Linden worked with Morris.
Oh,
so it's really Morris. We
so Morris and
we check the music remains the same, but the drum patterns and so it's really Morris. That album, Morris worked that out.
And also, if I should add, if you check Bang Time is a protest album, because what happened?
Kofi, just hold your thought a while, Kofi. We'll get back to Bang Time in a while, but the calls are coming in. Good morning to you, RSB. Franklin Moses in the building. Good morning to you, Creole Heartbeat.
Good morning to Leroy, Wadipo Charles, Dominica's best Creole cultural ambassador.
I agree.
Thank you very much, my friend. Good morning to you.
Excellence.
Yes, I'm Mr. Franklin Moses.
I'm here.
And my other brethren in there. Let me just congratulate you guys, and thank you guys for all the contribution in Dominica's music, and you talk about the cadence, that really put Dominica on the map. And one thing I love about cadence is that we have so many different bands playing cadence in Dominica at the time of RSB. And each band had their own identity. Each band had their own style of music.
Own song.
You could hear drama to know that it's drama. You could play, RSB know that it's RSB. And to me, that is the real bouillon, partner. Cadence is the real bouillon, You have all different structures of the cadence music put in one pot.
Different ingredients.
You understand what I'm trying to say? But I have a question for you guys. Where the RSB's root stem and branches, all right? Where did that name originate from? What does it really mean? What is the significance of that name, RSB?
That's a
because
tree.
I know a tree, you have the roots, you have the stem
and
you have
the
the
branches.
Somebody that bear fruits, you have flowers, you have the fruit. What does that name really mean to you guys? Thank you, I'm listening.
Thank you very much, caller.
Go on, Kofi.
All right. Yes, Paven, blessings. Root stem and branches, man, they say things happen mystically in life that are destined to happen. In the days when we used to do our little box guitar gigs, myself, Maxim, we sit down there, they're doing our little thing on that time. That we were not even really a band playing out, but we used to sit and play a lot of roots, burning spear, while we're trying to master the Kadas rhythms and Kadas things. So we spent a lot of time before we were on the scene, just playing at the back, sitting at the back of the building on the tree, anywhere, just playing. And in one particular session, we were doing a thing and we were recording our sessions. And I was there doing a little vocals, and I said, yeah, man, this is the music of the root stem and branches. And I said, what? We didn't have a name. We were just singing. So in playing back the thing, I said, boy, that's a good name, root stem and branches. But I always, like everybody know, in the band, we had different musicians keen or tuned to different genres, even while we were doing the Kadas and what belongs to us, right? Everybody had their favorite genre of music, and my genre of music was always reggae, because since I'm a youth man going to school, I dread kind of way, so it's just Rasta thing in my head from a long time. But the root stem and branches, I don't know, I just felt like that tree, I always look at the tree as a
root stems and branches.
Yes.
This is breaking
You know?
news. This is
Yeah,
breaking.
breaking
Yes,
news.
Carl. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We have you back now.
Yeah,
Oh,
continue.
Just
you
continue.
will not hear me all the time?
Yes.
No. You just about 2 minutes ago we lost the signal.
We
But continue
lost
from where you were.
where
You were
you
about to tell us
were.
about
The name.
the
The
name.
name.
Okay, yeah.
When
So I'm
you
saying
went back
that
to
the
the
name,
recording.
right. So, you know, and while we jamming, I just chant out, this is the music of the Roots, Stem, and Branches. And then later, when we were playing back the tape, you know, I saying, but that is a good name, you know, we can use that name, man. Roots, Stem, and Branches. How you think of that? I say, I didn't think of it. It's just something that flow in the moment. But I don't know if it's because I was always a person that saw the tree as a symbol of life and the connection from the ground up, you know.
Yeah.
And so we say, well, that's a good name. And so if you notice on most of our albums now, when I wrote the forward acknowledgement and stuff, I would always extract biblical quote relating to the roots or the tree to put on the album, you know, planted by the rivers of water, this, that, and this kind of things. Everything, anything to signify the tree and what it symbolizes. So, and that name just stuck, and I think all the members just loved it, and it came mystically, you know what I'm saying?
Respect.
Yeah, but Prince, while you were off, I was also telling them the first name when we were on our first little session, the first name mentioned was Seven Seals by you, you know.
Well, yes, all that again is some biblical thing, you know? Biblical.
Okay, you were on Bang Time telling us something, and also what's
Protest album.
Protest
that's where
album.
you started, yeah.
You say about the
Right.
Protest album Bang Time.
So we're saying now, okay, you know, we played our regular nice Kadas beats and Kadas driven beats with our little mix with our soca and calypso and stuff. And there was a time when RSB felt that we were not getting what was due to us in terms of airplay. You know what I mean? And so we say, boy, it looked like we have to come with the rough up rhythm, like to kind of get some airplay. We have to come like more on the hard booyah style or more jumpy. And so you know, everybody started to come up with lines because I had one funk up the rhythm, we had bang time, we had to hell with the DJ and this kind of songs there. You know, so everything just kind of fellas, just everybody had something to express because on that album, if you notice, a lot of us, everybody wrote songs, you know, and all the songs are like
Frankie,
I
does
would
it
say
seem album Frankie
80% of that album is protest.
Pirate.
It's to cry down not getting airplay. Why they not playing our music? Why are we not recognized? You know? So that album, Bang Time, is really a protest album. I don't know if Z have anything to add to that, but from my perspective and the times, yeah, that was how that album was born, and it felt like it's more booyah kind of, you know, but yeah, that's where it originated.
See, was telling us about some new music that RSB going to be producing. Tell us about that.
Well, yeah, you know, again, we've been there, and you know, we continue to do music. Even if I'm out there in Chicago, Maxime is home, Jerry's playing with every band in Dominica. Very active. I mean, Frankie Jazz and the man still play. We have original Bessie Teddy still playing with Impulse, and you know, we've lost a few members over the years and gone to the great beyond. But yeah, so we felt like now is a time when, seeing that we're still in the music, we should probably at least just revive RSB and put some work together. So yeah, so we don't want to put too much out there, but there's a great possibility that you'll be in some fresh RSB and some remixes of songs that never really made the airwaves to the height they should. We probably will be doing a few of those in due course. We are already on track for that.
Any time frame for that project?
No, because it's well.
you have calls coming in? Okay, let's take the calls. We'll get back to the time frame. Good morning to you, RSB in the building and Franklin Moses. Good morning. Hello.
Wadik.
Yes, sir.
Wadik.
Yes.
Good morning to you and your guests, man.
Good morning,
You
bro.
know, I'm always tuning. I'm always listening to your show, and I like the vibes that you bring.
Thank you very much, sir.
And even this morning, I just call you. I'm listening. I didn't have no intention to call. Just listen. But you all came to the point of the flatness in the music. And the brother just said that they were not getting airplay. Because you know why? You don't get airplay because you're not the popular thing in town, my brethren. When you're not flat. And you mentioned the bouillon business. What if, you took a beating under that?
Yes.
They beat you up on that.
Yes.
But I just called because I want the brothers to know there are people out there with the same thought process like they think. Flatness business don't get you nowhere. It's hot for a moment and it dies. But you play righteous music, you play conscious lyrics, you don't have to worry about your time. Your time comes. It will never fade away. I'm going to make an example. I've always made an example. Bob Marley been gone for about 20, 30 years now. So, longer than that. Yeah. Marley died in 1981, 82, right?
Yeah.
Bob Marley is bigger than when he was alive. He make more money dead than he made alive.
That's correct.
He still selling top of the chart. So you must understand, truth and righteousness is longevity. And what is popular is just for a time. It's a short moment, a passing fancy. Now, the name of the band, RSB, I always knew that's what it was. I wasn't too familiar with these guys because I've been out of here a long time. But when I heard the name, I knew what root, stem, and branches. Consciousness told me that's what it was, and I didn't have to ask. So my brother Fabian just asked, but I just want to let people know, when you think in conscious, when you are in a different frame of mind, a different level, things come to you. You see things differently. You understand. That's why I love listening to them brothers there this morning. Why they do your job, my brother? I'm out.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
Some encouragement for what you guys have been doing in terms of the lyrical content. I always believe right is right and wrong is wrong no matter who does it. Mm-hmm. And we have a responsibility as artists, we have a responsibility as human beings to leave a legacy. And each of us have our responsibility to know what legacy we want to leave.
And at the end of it,
the day, more calls for RSB Band. Good morning to you, Creole Heartbeat. Maxime Zipo, Will Carl Kofi, and Franklin Moses. Good morning.
Good morning, this is Senator Dominica.
Good morning to you. Hello?
Yeah. Hello? Yeah, this is Senator Dominica.
Yes, this is the big station Q95 FM.
Mm-hmm. I just have a few questions. I'm wondering, when RSB was up in New York, I did a few sessions with some of the bands. And I noticed that some band members I've heard from them, like Dave Terrell and
Dave Terrell, yes.
Jazz Bernard, and Spikey Booming.
Yeah, Frankie. Yeah.
Are they all
yes, yeah, Frankie is alive. Dave is alive also.
Playing music still.
Playing music still. Both are playing music.
We don't play music. We work music.
Work music then.
I'd like to commend everyone like Franklin Moses and the Wadix and Z.
Thank you very much.
And Coffee James, man, you fellas have done a wonderful job.
Yeah, give time.
Back to Dominica.
Thank you very much.
They are one of the famous bands, they played up in Toronto and also in Brooklyn.
Thank you very much.
Kudos to you guys. All right.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much.
I've been promoting music on Century.com all the time.
Respect. All right. Thank you very much.
Respect.
Okay, that's some commendations for you guys for the work that you did. What sort of genres will you be actually? I know it's early to talk.
Prevalently Kadas.
Prevalently Kadas. Yeah. Why Kadas?
Man, that's our foundation, man.
Been home twice.
It's by being home twice. Mm-hmm. And so most likely for independence or next year, or
well, you may
get at least one or two
when
for
I
independence.
Drop, I will always let you listen, Wadik. So you can give you can let us know what you think before we release. You know what I mean?
Yeah. In terms of Franklin, I just want to come to you for the final time because we are rounding up. Any plans for, let's say, workshops to actually aspiring MCs? We know there's a deficiency in proper MCing in Dominica. Any plans for that in 2 minutes? I know you don't want to take the whole time.
In less than 2 minutes. It started 25 years ago So I didn't want to say it, but since you asked the question, so from my recollection, from Patrick John to Urban Harrigan to Levi Low Black. I took over from Levi Low Black, and then BABA was there. And under my tenure, I introduced Val Coffey, I introduced Alex Bruno, I introduced Marja. I brought them on stage for the first time, and so I'm happy to have Marja. And there's a new one, and there's some other folks, but I have I mentioned that already. It has been asked by me. I can easily do that for those who are interested. There's something I just have to let people know. You can have the gift to become an MC. It's a difference between a master of ceremony, a presenter, and an entertainer. I can teach you all of these because a person can give jokes. It doesn't mean that they articulate enough to hold a show. That's where I'll teach you the term master the ceremonies, not ceremony, not one knees, all of the from the beginning to the end. So they hear you start and you create the energy and the tone for the entire system. So if you must be aware that if the performer or performances are going down, you must boost it up because you are the common thread that keeps the whole show going. So all of these, you may be good at giving jokes, but you may not be good at becoming the master of the ceremony. You may be good at master of ceremony, but so you have Julian Rogers that was doing a show with Julian Rogers. Julian Rogers is a big name, big voice. He has presence, but he has not personality. Some people have personality, they don't have presence. So that's a whole thing. You have to understand that. So I can identify who can do what.
Okay.
So for Val, Val was enthusiastic. Yeah, man, but when Val is brave, his size didn't keep him back. Alex was able to confidently just hold the show. You can just trust Alex with the show. You can trust Val with the show. Marja was able to come in and hold her end, and then many others. But so I'm happy you said that.
The platform is there for you to continue to teach.
Want to teach the different
those who are interested,
yes. And no matter what age, because I got inspired to be. I was wondering, well, how come Lawrence Brummer? I would watch Lawrence Brummer give a joke, and it was the same joke all the time. Urban Harrigan gave the same jokes all the time,
and people still continue to
learn. Timing. You have to have the time.
Okay, as we leave, guys, we just have about 3 more minutes.
And the last thing is that when I was working with you, and I want to say that in 15 seconds, when I said I was confident I knew what it's into me. When I say, what if you're getting ready? Oh, say, boy, you're able to stop. Oh, say, boy, you're able to stop. And that gave me a lot of confidence. So thanks again for being present and alert. Once you can work in harmony, then you can get the symphony in the melody.
Okay, Carl, Kofi James, you're still doing your stuff in Chicago, playing very regularly. I've been noticing what you've been doing on social media, but just inform the nation in, let's say, in 90 seconds.
Well, yeah, Wadix, like music is just part of who I am. And I've been doing more reggae music, not just because I want to do more reggae music, but because the musicianship to find the right musicians to play our type of music is very difficult out in the foreign. You cannot keep guys together to do that. So I've been doing reggae music. But right now, I am not even focused so much on me doing the music. I'm still writing and will be releasing something personally soon. But I am also grooming my daughters who are artists in every aspect of the world, like painters, actors, musicians, writing their own songs. And so my focus right now is really to help nurture them to stay on path and to spread the legacy of making good music. And that's what I'm about. And I want to say before I go, I want to say thank you to the bands before us, B+, the Willie Cats, the John Baptist Brothers. They embraced RSB at a very early age, B+ Brothers along with them. I want to say thank you to those guys because without them and the other influences from Exile One, Mammoth, Ignitions, all the bands before that really help us get on the scene. Our rival bands, not in an enemy territory, but CK, Effects Band, Rough and Ready, all these bands that were along our time. I want to say thank you to those guys for keeping the music, playing the music, and all the DJs and MCs like FM say thank you. Wadix, well, I don't have to tell you thank you again because your boy.
Always support.
I'm always there telling you, keep it up.
Brother. Respect, my bro. Z, what's
Well,
thing for you?
what
We
is
know you continue to do your stuff.
Yeah, well, Kofi, I said it all, and like, what, I continue to do my music, you know what I mean? Even if you're not seeing me on stage, but I always working it out as a musician.
And also part of the Mascam
The
family.
Mascam, yeah, I'm the band leader.
The band leader of the Mascam.
Family. So when it comes to Calypso, I'm well into that, you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. The final second, as we have 60 seconds now, and that's just tell our producer, happy birthday, Franklin. I would like you to tell Anthony, my special producer on Creole Heartbeat for the past 4 Fridays. Today's a birthday wish. Happy birthday.
Bring up the music for me. Bring up that same song there. If you want to take it from the beginning. From the beginning.
Let's
okay,
go.
so bring it up.
Let's go.
Bring it up. Appuisons. Tout le monde de la musique internationale. C'est grand spectacle et bon anniversaire pour les belles femmes, chansons et musique et technical direction à Grand Station Q. How you say the name of that? Tell us your name. You want to hear her voice. We want to hear her voice. So tell us your name. Tell us your name. Bring the music down a little.
Antoine Thomas.
We want to wish you a happy birthday today.
Thank
And have a good time. We're happy that you're here with us. And you're going to go places. You're in the right place. Have a great day today. And we all love you.
Thank you.
Bring the music back up now.
Okay. That's it for another Creole Heartbeat program. By the way, August 29th, QFM and Creole Heartbeat features Julius Timothy, the finance minister then at the World of Creole Music Festival from inception. Prince Wadix, may God bless you. Hope you enjoyed RSB Band and Franklin Peter Moses. Until next week, may God continue to bless you. And our China Tuesday, the star returns to the big stage.
Okay, bring it up.
Blessed love.